Hey, Dr. Stegall here, and I was in the process of setting up a Twitter account for our new blog, successfulchiro.com, and so I thought I'd go ahead and record it to help you set up a Twitter account for your own practice, and then I'll also give you a few hints and tips on starting to get people to follow you. So let's get started, and I'll give you a little bit more information about finding followers once we get the account set up. So first you're going to come in and you're going to enter your full name and your email and your password and click sign up. So as you can see, the initial setup's very easy. You just fill out a few blanks, and now we're to the next page after we click the submit button. It has my full name. It's going to give you a default username, and it'll tell you as you start to select another one if it's one that is available or not. And what you would want to actually put in is your city and chiropractor is what I would recommend. So if you practice in some place such as Parker, Colorado, then I would put in there as your username Parker Chiropractor is my recommendation. If you already have a pretty good reputation and you're well known, then you might just use your name. But you want to make sure that you're not just using your clinic name that has nothing to do with your own name or the city that you're in. You want to use search friendly terms. So that's one recommendation that I can give you on selecting your username. And you want to ensure that you let others find you by your email, and that should be your whatever email they would use to find you at your clinic. So ensure that that is checked. And then you just click create my account. And so now that your account is set up, you'll notice that you will be called at whatever your username is. So if you were Parker Chiropractor, you'd be at Parker Chiropractor will be your username. So first thing you want to do is go up here and you want to click settings. And what you're essentially going to want to do is provide as many details as you can so that potential patients who follow you can learn about you and become more familiar with you from the information that you provide. And so the first tab you would go to, or the main tab you would go to provide that, would be the profile tab. Now ensure that when you put a picture in that it is you versus your logo for your clinic. Twitter's kind of like a personal conversation at a party type platform. It's just where people speak in really short sentences. So you want to make sure that you keep this personal, and so having an actual picture of you, or maybe you and a couple of staff members, or you and your child or something like that, helps keep it personal. So that's what I would recommend. You want to enter in where you are location wise. You obviously want to enter your website, put in a nice solid bio that is search term friendly. So if you offer chiropractic and acupuncture and you're in the south part of Houston, then you want to make sure that you put all that in so that it has these search terms that people may use to look for a chiropractor in their area. And as a whole, it's essential that anything you're setting up, that you set up for business, that you really make it a habit of putting in the terms that you think people are going to use to search for chiropractor in your area, because nowadays it's starting to get blurred on what's going to be used by search engines to track you down. And so more and more social media is being used to track you down. So you might as well get everything that you enter on the internet populated with the search terms that people may use. And in your particular case, again, that's going to be your services and in your city, and then also your name. And so now after you get your settings and your profile and your picture set up, you would come back to your home page. And since you're likely new to Twitter, if you're watching this video, what I would recommend is to begin following others. And if you do that, others will begin to follow you. Anywhere from typically about 40% to even 60% of them will begin to follow you after you follow them. But especially if you're new to Twitter, to get your feet wet, it's pretty easy just to do a search for information that you can just do what's called retweeting, which is just simply the act of reposting or resending information from you out to your followers that someone else has sent you. And so the best way to do that is just to click on who to follow, and then click on Browse Interests. And now just scroll down, and for us chiropractors, we're most likely going to click on the Health section. And so here we are. Now you can simply scroll down and find something that you're interested in. I would recommend that you look for things like natural health newsletters like Joseph Mercola or Dr. Andrew Weil, and a few mainstream organizations such as something like this, USA Today Health. So just click follow on anyone that you want to follow. And we'll just choose a few here. And the other reason that I like to pick some of these natural health type newsletters, or people that are going to tweet that type, or companies or organizations or people that are going to tweet that type of information, is because they'll also send you great information that you can then use in your newsletters. You can use to repost in Facebook. Obviously, you're going to retweet it in Twitter. And so you're going to get a lot of great information, or access to a lot of great information, a lot of great links that you can then turn around and use for other purposes. So it's great to have that information coming right into your Twitter box for you. So now if we return back home after we click on those, you notice instantly we already have information or tweets populating from those organizations. And just like that, you're already getting an inbox that's pretty full. So the next move you would make is simply to find something that's of interest to you. Summer's almost here. Block a sunburn with these top sunscreens. So all you have to do is come here, click retweet. It'll ask you if you want to do that, and you send it. And now what you're going to notice is that when you go to your own profile, you've now sent out your first tweet. It's a retweet. It's not something that came originally from you, but it's a great way to get information out there and keep your account active until you kind of get your feet wet with understanding and knowing what to type in those 140 characters that you're going to be able to send in your own tweets. And don't get too hung up on what you send. Just share interesting thoughts about your industry, add in links to news articles or blog posts, or interact with other people. Just try not to post about your own company, especially at the beginning. Don't just put out promotional information about your clinic or start inviting people to some type of wellness talk. You want to be seen and establish yourself as kind of an industry thought leader. So quality content is the key, just like it is with other social media. Nobody wants to be spam. So start off by sending good quality tweets. Let the world know in your first couple that you just set up your Twitter account and you're excited about getting a bunch of people to follow you and sharing a bunch of great health information with them. And you'll have followers flocking to you before you know it. Now, another service you can use is down here to find friends. You don't need to just have patients that are a part or followers on your Twitter account for your business, and it won't work out that way anyway. So you can go into Yahoo, and you may even, or Gmail, or wherever your own email account is set up, if it's one of these, or even through your LinkedIn, and you can look for people to have follow you. So ask your staff to push the Twitter page for you, and let people know that it's new, and send a link to your Twitter page so that they can have their friends and family members start to follow you. So you definitely want to leverage your staff's Twitter accounts and just their connections in general, and just have them contact people they know. There's no reason that your front desk CA's friends and family members should not be following your page. And so between simply retweeting posts, beginning to look for friends through services such as this one that Twitter provides, and having your staff members and yourself reach out to friends and family to start getting some followers, you will notice that you will start to gather a pretty big crowd pretty quickly.